Hello and welcome to another flying video with Flight Level 180. Today we are looking at the Airfoillabs Cessna 172sp from for X-Plane 11. And this is considered to be a study level airplane, meaning it's hyper realistic as they can make it. And you know, the modeling is good, everything is good, cockpit is nice, but I have encountered a bug that basically makes this a complete this airplane a complete disaster, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you. Let's jump in the cockpit. We are at Chandler Airport in the Phoenix area. It's June of 2021. This is the latest version. And if anybody has any thoughts on this airplane and what I'm doing wrong here, I think I'm doing things correctly here, but maybe I'm missing something completely obvious. But let's go ahead and set the DG. So this is the latest version. It's a very hot day, as you can see. It's still pretty early in the morning. It's about 6:30, but it's already 32°C, but not so hot that we're going to have any overheating issues. So I'm going to go ahead and do a standard takeoff, which is full rich on the mixture, full power, and we're going to watch the temperature gauge. And you can see that down here in the lower left side. Basically, the goal here is to keep the oil temperature out of the red. And by going full rich and full power, we should have no problems doing that. Well, let's go ahead and watch what happens. So let's go ahead and start our takeoff roll. So we're going full rich. I'm going to show you that we are full rich, and get some lights on, and off we go. Okay, RPM is good, fuel flow is good, oil pressure is good, and airspeed is alive. And the goal here, we're just going to go ahead and pitch for a nice, 10 degrees nose up climb. We're going to look for around 80 knots, which is a very conservative climb in 172. Pretty high speed, so we're getting some nice cooling over the cylinder heads. Okay, and you can watch now. Look at that temperature gauge down here. It's let's zoom in and I can show you what we're getting. You can visibly see that thing climbing up, and we're about 500 feet so far, and you can see we've climbed around 80 knots, and you can see we've climbed almost to 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and from 100 in the first minute or so. Not so great. Anyway, let's keep the climb going. You can see it's still climbing, and I'm going to go ahead and trim out here. And this is just, there's some little niggling things with this airplane. The trim is incredibly insensitive. Like, I've been rolling here for about 5 seconds, and I've still got I still need more trim though. I finally got it, so it's going to be about 7 seconds to trim into level flight. So it's incredibly insensitive. Like, you have to do it so much, but that's really a minor issue. If the airplane works, that's all good. So here we are, we're climbing. Maybe need to climb a little more steeply, and look at what the temperature gauge is doing. We are almost there. And now we're getting the warning. The oil temperature is getting high. Damage may occur, and damage will occur. We actually will trash the cylinders. If you look here, we're still full rich, full power. And let's go ahead and start pulling back the power and see how low we have to get. So I don't know if you can see the number in the upper left screen. You probably can't, but I have the actual oil temperature up there, and we're 231.41. So right there is where the temperature stops climbing. And if you look at my RPM gauge down here, so that's just 2100 RPM. So I can't get over 2100 RPM without overheating this engine. And I believe as you climb higher and higher, that actually goes goes even lower. So even with full rich, you're basically getting incredibly low power. And I'm now down to what, 300 feet per minute. As I climb higher, I'm not going to be able to climb at all. So basically, it makes the airplane impossible to fly at high elevations, at high density altitudes. The power is horrible. It's just, I can't figure out any way to resolve the issue. If anybody watching this video has some thoughts as how to fix it, I would really appreciate it. As I said, this is the latest version. There were apparently issues with this in earlier models, but they do not seem to have been fixed. I sent 3 problem reports to vFlight Air. I got 0 responses from them, which implies to me they know this is an issue and don't have a way to solve it, or they just don't care. So, should you buy this airplane? You can see I've got 23 hours on it, over 23 hours. I like it. But, who cares if it's good if you can't fly the thing normally? I mean, you can fly at high temperatures, I guess, and then just go in and fix the cylinders every time it fails. But it's just, it's not great, and it really kills this airplane. I've been flying a lot of 172s lately. My recommendation for you is to get the Reality Expansion Pack, which goes on top of the Laminar. Research the base 172. Some of the things aren't quite as nice as this airplane, but that said, you can actually fly it without overheating the cylinders, and it actually has realistic engine performance. I would definitely not buy this airplane in the way it stands right now. It's just absolutely unacceptable. So I hope that helps in case you're considering buying a 172 for X-Plane. It's pretty sad. I wish it were better, but there it is. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.